The Red Scare. Oops. Okay. What is the Red Scare? The Red Scare is a movement that started in America in the early 19th century, like around the 1910s. Its unlimited goal was to get rid of communism, and many government officials, policymakers, and federal employees were being outright accused for being communist spies to corrupt the U.S. government and the country itself. Who? This is Attorney General A. Mitchell Palmer. He participated in the first Red Scare, which was the early 1900s to 1920, and attended college at Swarthmore, Pennsylvania, to become was an active person in the Democratic Party affairs. How did he impact the Red Scare? He spreaded the message. Well, he hoped that American people will uprise and demand. One second. He hoped American people would uprise and get rid of the undercover communists who were trying to corrupt the U.S. government and restore the national integrity and security. The idea of communist spies increasing radicalism to take over the government, U.S. government, created apprehension in American society. This is Joseph McCarthy. He participated in the second Red Scare, which was all the way into the 50s, all the way until like the Cold War ended. During World War I, he volunteered to fly 12 combat missions as a gunner observer. Excuse me. Okay, how did he impact? McCarthy claimed a lot of people in the U.S. government were undercover communist spies, and he wanted American citizens to demand accountability from the American government for having communists in their government, and yeah, and McCarthy created fear among American citizens that to portray the situation as a moral crisis, and has Americans view communists as a direct threat and safety to values and safety, and to corrupt their country. This is our former president Eisenhower. He never been in active combat before, and he participated in the second wave of Red Scare, except he was against it, against the ideology. Eisenhower impacted by rebuking a lot of tactics like Joseph McCarthy, he was infamous for accusing many people in the federal in federal jobs, like government officials and policymakers, for being communist spies. But Eisenhower said, no, 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 no. And Eisenhower emphasizes that true freedom and actual Americans will respect people's opinions and would not care if somebody was communist, socialist, or anything. The Red Scare impacted modern American society by people having fear of talking against the leftists because they might be accused of not being with America or not being patriotic. It increased extensive government surveillance, such as FBI investigations, to suspect if it's communist. This was like later in the 20th century, but I don't think it's in the 21st century. And it shaped how Americans see communist countries such as Russia, Cuba, and China. They see it as oppressed and poor and bad governments. And sorry. And these are my sites. Thank you for listening.